Okay, I went ahead and did the other eye. So you see his eyes are in there just fine, and the folds in his cap are in there. So I'm just going to round that off so it's not really hard edges anywhere. I made it a little bit deeper on the top, just so it would stick out a little nicer and look a little nicer. And the back stays the way it is. Now I did his ear offline, and I'm going to show you how to do this ear. If you take a look at it, we have a little bit of a curvature here, and we have a little hole there. So how did I create that? Well, you can do it with a knife. It's not impossible to do it with a knife, but I've been doing more and more with the little gouges, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Let's see. I used a G number 5, okay, and what I did was I made a little little mark where that ear should go in. And then I took the knife and I did this pretty deep, okay, just right in front of the ear. I'll show you why. Because when we take this in and we go to sweep it out, I'm going to spray it just a tad. This really needs to be sharp when you do it, folks. I can't stress that enough when you use gouges and V-tools. Sharp as it can be is the best way to go here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to sweep this out. See, it's perfect. It just fits in there nice. We're going to go, see, we took that right out. That's because we had that line behind the sideburns there. We're going to take care of that eventually here. And alright, go a little deeper. Now if it doesn't come clean, you can go back and do it over. And then I take a real small one, which is a G15. Some of you wanted to know what I was using. I just take that down and I just pull that out. Okay, so we have the hole. Now I take the same one and I do this little ridge right in between the outside, right around just about there, and then I stop, okay? Right like so. Then I go back with a real sharp knife and I just take that hard edge off of that ear. Let me do that back here. I'll show you in a second. Alright. Some of the stuff, it's just so difficult to try to do this while I'm in front there. So I try to show you folks as much as possible online or with the taping. Okay, so we have the little vein there going up around, just like over here. I'll make that a little more distinct a little bit later. And then I'm going to get rid of this hair a little bit behind the ear. You can make that ear stick out a little bit if you want to take some of that away. You can do that. Alright, just make sure everything's cleaned up. This goes up just a tad, so it's a little bit rounded. Alright. Alright, looks good. So that's pretty well it for the face for now. We'll do the mustache. Why don't we do that now? We're going to have some fun with this. Since we're working on the face, we may as well get that done. Now, again, I'm going to use a little V tool, and I'm going to work. Let me show you how this works. Let me get a piece of paper here and see if I can draw this out for you. When you do a beard or a mustache, I'm beginning to concentrate more on the flow of things. Okay, so what you want to do is, if this is the bottom part of the nose here, okay, and goes up and around, and the mustache is coming down like this, okay, and then it comes back up, and then it goes back down, it comes out and around, and back out. The flow of this, I want to do it this way. Okay, so it goes out, okay, and then this goes down, and you know, this can continue coming down, and you can make this into a little bit, how can I explain that? This is the only way I can explain it. I usually go down this way first, and then I do this section, okay, and then I kind of blend things in, okay, And there's ways of doing that. It's just taking your time when you take the V tool to do it. Okay, so you can ignore that side. This is a better explanation. So I try to do the edges and then match the center to the edges. That's my way of doing it. Now I've also taken a gouge and gouged it out to give it a different texture, and I won't do it on this one because it's so small. But the one thing we want to do is we want to make sure everything's nice and round, ready to go with this mustache here. Just whatever. Alright, so now, and this really, folks, need to be sharp. Let me find one. I'm going to sharpen it up for a second. And we'll be almost done. And then the same thing with the sideburns. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to just go out a little bit. Okay, kind of just guide me out like this. Okay, see that? Let's see if I can bring this up a little closer. And then I'm going to kind of bring this down and around. Okay, see, we've got the top and the bottom done. Then I go back up here. Now you may have to use this to turn it. Alright, just go up here, just like so. And kind of just blend things in. Take your time when you do this. You can turn it if you want, like I'm doing now, just slightly. And then I go back over it a little bit. See? There we go. There's the mustache on the one side. I'll do the other side later, but that's roughly how you do it. Now if it doesn't free up underneath the nose, you go back and you chop that portion out. I really enjoy doing these faces and figures. The more I do, the more I like it. So, okay, so we're going to do the same thing to the other side to make it match. And then what I might do, since it can be an eyelid or an eyebrow at the top, I might make that brown to match this going down. So we might end up doing what we did to this guy. Okay, we have his sideburns and his bushy eyebrows that kind of hang over, and we might do the same thing with him. So take heart. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll come to a conclusion by the end what I'm going to do. Alright, so that's that portion. Now let's do the sideburns real quick. And what we're going to do here is the same thing. Well, I'm going to kind of take it a little bit at an angle instead of straight down. Where's my pencil? Okay, I know I had it here. I go through this all the time. Okay, here it is. I may take it a little bit at an angle, okay, instead of straight down. Maybe a little bit going back, not towards the head, but back. So again, we're going to spray it a little bit, just enough to wet it. And we're going to take the smallest little V tool I can find, which is this one that we had. Oh, this one's even smaller. No, that's not it. So hard to see these sometimes, folks. Okay, here's the little one. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to just go across on the back side first and just slowly go across, and then I turn it around and I go the other way. Okay, just very, very carefully. And then a little bit in the middle, and that should take care of it. Okay, and you can go over a little bit here and there. Alright, and I'll do the other side when we get offline here. So that's how it's done. We'll be right back.